In this video, we'll look at creating meshes from planar surfaces such as walls, ceilings, and floors. Now there's a few different ways to do this. We'll begin with the most complicated, which is also the most accurate method. So let's begin by going to Tools, Volume Tools, and you'll see a tab here that reads Plane. Let's click on Plane. And let's move over to this wall here. And what I'm going to do next is under Home, under Shape, we'll see an item that says Multi-Point. Let's click on Multi-Point. And now we're going to just select a few points here along the plane of this wall. Fit multi-points, and then click Apply. Now, if you make a mistake and you click a point that's not on the plane, you can hold down Control and click again to deselect that, or go to Clear Selection, but you will need to be under multi-point in order to clear the multi-point selection. So I'm happy with what I have here. So let's clear these points, clear selection. I'm going to switch back to the point tool so that I can navigate and center around this wall. Now, if you like to, you can also adjust the thickness. So if you want a little bit thicker, maybe go 0.02. Click Apply. So that looks okay. So in order to mesh the scan data, we have to first select it. That's what's going to get meshed, are the points that we select. Under Shape, I'm going to go to Box Select and select this here. Now I don't need this row of points at the bottom, so I'm going to hold down Control and then click to deselect those. And let's switch to Selected, so we only see the selected points. I'll switch back over to the point tool. So now we'll go to Models, Meshing. Let's create a new mesh set, and we'll just call this Wall 1. And let's generate that mesh. Now we have two scans here that we're creating this mesh from, and we probably don't need both of those. So let's go over to Scene Explorer and let's take a look at the two different meshes. So I'm going to begin by hiding 087. Let's hide the scans temporarily too. This one here is 018. So that's 087. So let's clear 087 from our list. So we'll keep 18. We'll check the one, keep the one checked that we want to clear. Let's clear that mesh. Actually, have that backwards, because 87 is what we want to keep. Turn the scan data back on, and since we're not using 18, I'm going to hide that. Now, in order to reduce the poly count, we'll need to reduce the amount of points we use, and we do that by changing the subsample. So let's do something real extreme, like let's go with maybe a 20, generate, and you can see we have a lot less polys in our mesh. So if we did a display of 20, we'll see that this is why. This is the amount of points that we're using to create that mesh. So let's put our display back to 4. And let's take this down, actually back to 4. So a lower number is going to be more points, and a higher number is going to be fewer points. So we'll generate that again. And you can just sit here and change these to try to adjust it and get the best result with the smallest number of polys here. Okay, I think I'm happy with 6. All right, so let's go ahead and close this. Let's clear our points. So we'll move to one of the selection tools here and just click clear selection. Let's view all scans again. And now let's take a look at this wall. Let's turn the other scan back on. Okay, this one seems to be better. So the other method that you can use is just under point, click a point, go back over to the volume tools where we have the plane. And this time, instead of fit multi-points, we'll choose set point, and then we'll apply. Okay, so let's change our X, Y, and Z. And there we go. I'm going to hide this mesh. And let's adjust this just a little bit more. We'll bring the thickness down. All right, so next I'm going to switch over to the box select. Select those points. We'll go back to models, meshing tools. Let's create a new mesh set. We'll call this one wall 2. And we're only using scan 87, so let's exclude 18. Let's turn the previews back on. And let's hide the scan data. So there we have 2 meshes for both walls. So now you just simply select the one you wish to export. And there you go. So a third method, let's close this, turn the scans back on. And I'm going to clear my selection. I'm going to disable the volume. And this would be the least accurate method. But for example, let's swap this over to point, center, and let's do a maybe like a front view. And that would be just to grab the box select and drag to pick out the ceiling here, for example. Okay, and then you would just repeat what you did earlier with the meshing tools to create your mesh.